Okay. Well, that doesn't really help much, but I think it takes away a little bit of the graininess. So, oh, yay, we figured it out.
Woohoo!
Okay. Sure, Shannon, let me know what it is. Before we get started on the transcripts, I'm so happy. I am so happy we just figured that out. I am going
We
to,
did not
I
figure
made
it out.
the list of the cases that I have to do summaries on for everybody before 2026. I'm going to read them to you all, and you're going to tell me if I missed any. All right?
Before 2026?
But yeah, I have to do a summary on each of these cases on YouTube and on TikTok before 2026. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to read you all of the cases, and if I missed one, hey, my love, let me know. Okay? I have two categories, my TikTok and then my YouTube. All right? So we have Kelsey Fitzsimmons, Nick Reiner, the Alex Murdaugh appeal, because that's being heard in February, Lindsay Clancy, Turtle Boy, Karen Reed Civil, Austin Metcalf, Gilgo, Luigi, Miles King, Tyler Robinson, and DoorDash Girl. Did I miss anybody? These are all expected trials except Karen Reed Civil in 2026. All right, I'll write that down, Shannon. Take a look at that.
If
Ashley,
anybody,
good.
oh, buzzard. Other than grief, if anybody has any topics they want me to cover, let me know because once school starts, I'm gonna kind of be hit or miss until I figure out what the semester looks like. I'm not excited.
Is there
My resolution this year, guys,
resolutions?
is to not live my life, no, not to, that's not true. Let me set myself up for success here. Is to not base every decision out of fear.
I like that.
Because currently that is all I base my decisions out of.
Charlie Adelson appeal, oral argument February 3rd. Okay.
Other than, yeah.
We could add it like when we have downtime. I'll put do like a separate category for like if we have like downtime between trials, like cases we can revisit. We definitely do Scott Peterson. I love that case. That's a really interesting one. The appeal in that case were really good too.
JonBenet Ramsey.
We could do Ramsey. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 cases that are going to take place in 2026.
It's a lot.
Yeah. And so I posted the first summary of Kelsey Fitzsimmons. TikTok version is up. The can you do a rundown of personality traits like psychopathy, Court?
Ooh, I can. I just have to be very careful because I do not know enough about psychopathy, and that's a tough. But yes, I can do a rundown of personality traits.
Wonderful. These are all wonderful ideas. Wonderful ideas. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I love all of this.
Like personality traits in that would be in criminals or just personality traits in general. I thought about doing one on attachment, but that'd be like a little mini series because there's so many different styles.
Either or. Okay. Okay. All right. So quick rundown of what we're doing. So Court's going to do that little mini series on that. I am doing the little mini series on cases that we're covering in 2026. So that will be taking place this week. Ooh, they love the series on attachment idea, Court.
Right.
Excellent. So make sure that you are either following or that you're following on TikTok and then you're following on the other platforms. All right. So let's jump into the sidebars and go through. This is going to be May 7th. Okay. Oh, thank you. I like anything. You just have to click on Courtney's little name and then her little box will pop up. And then you just follow her. It's very, very easy.
You want to know something? Side note before we get started. So sorry guys, I know sometimes you don't care about the stuff that I have to tell stuff about, but this is like my FaceTime time with stuff as well. So one of the girls that I'm going to hang out with that I met through TikTok actually was in Michigan at a dispensary that was right where we were at.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Like she posted an Instagram story and I was like, wait, I just saw that building.
You're like, oh my God, I was
And I
just
was
there.
like, we're destined to be BFFs.
Yes, Teresa, I have Austin Metcalf on the list. I have Austin Metcalf on the list. So that is, if you want to follow along, we are on the 5-7 transcripts. Okay. All right, let me, who is testifying? Let me tell you who. This is Sean Good that's testifying. Sean.
Okay, either it's cutting out when you scroll still or you are glitching.
It's cutting out when I scroll. So just remind me so I stop if I keep doing it. Okay, so this happens on literally page 7 of the transcript, so we don't even get very far into the morning. So it starts with Lally, and he says, Your Honor, I'm a little confused. Shocking, Lally, that you were confused. Hi, Michelle. I'm very shocked that you're. Who is this? Sorry, hold on. I don't like when I get random text messages from numbers that I don't know.
Hello, hello.
It is my neighbor, and she sent me this picture. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see what the picture is?
Is that a candy cane?
It's a large ornament.
Huh?
And she said, Hi, this is her name. This is going to be weird, but there's a big ornament in the drainage in front of our house and was checking to see if it's yours. I'm like, yes, that's mine. Thank you. Thank you. It's mine. Yeah, no, that's mine. It's mine. Okay, wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, so back to the minutes, page 7 of 255. Lally gets up there and says, Your Honor, I'm a little confused. Shocking, Mr. Lally, you are confused. But Miss Little grabbed me right before. First, I'd like to apologize for my tardiness this morning. Who says tardiness? Besides Adam Lally. Miss Little had referenced to me just before the court came out that they had blacked out something to do with TUI materials. I'm just a little confused on that. Okay, Yannetti, I'm not going to be showing these to the jury now. If there's an issue with redaction, the court, all right, they can come in later. Yannetti. Well, I'd like to see them in it now if I can, but subject to whatever redaction before the jury ever sees them. The court. They will remain there. I'm not admitting them. I have some leeway and I'm admitting exhibits. Not Bev being like, just a reminder, BT dubs, I don't have to admit exhibits. Like, we know, Bev. We know. Oh, and Mr. Yannetti follows that up with, of course I know. And then
One second. I gotta text my boss.
Okay. I shall wait until you're done, and then we will continue reading. Do you guys want to see some of my Pokemon cards while we're waiting? For some reason, this room is filled with Pokemon cards just chilling. Thank you for the 2026, Maria. The new year is coming. Let me see, what do I have over here for Pokemon cards? Let's see.
2026, the year of prioritizing myself.
Oh, I bought this at a card show. Oh, this is a 9, graded 9 Magikarp. Very expensive. Very proud of this card.
Ooh, a graded one. We love a graded card.
I do love a graded card. I like this. This finished the Paldea Evolve set for me. And then this I spent too much money on. So this is from Paldea Fates. It's a Charizard EX. Very cool.
What time do I want to go to work tomorrow if I have to stay an hour and a half to 2 hours late? Do I really want to go in at like 10?
No. Oh, I love this card. I like chase this card for, this is my favorite card. I have to get it graded. It's not going to grade well though because the sides are crappy, but I wanted this card for so long. I'm trying not to get like re-obsessed because I spent too much money last year on Pokemon cards, but I wanted this fucking card forever. I don't know if can you see that? It's Pikachu dressed as Van Gogh and painted in the style of Van Gogh.
Yes, they overtime. The problem is not overtime. It's that I did get my bonus, yes, and it was much bigger than I thought it was going to be. I just mentally can't handle over 8 hours unless I mentally prepare. So,
okay.
I know that's a bit dramatic, but children.
Okay.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you.
Back to sidebars. Okay. So then Bev is just like, I'm not admitting them because we have to make sure all records are redacted. I have no doubt you'll be able to get them in, just not right now. Yannetti, okay. And then the court will mark them for identification. Then Lally says, all I wanted to say is I don't know where those came from because I don't recall that being in the material. So basically, like, I didn't give them to the defense team, so I don't know where they got them from. And then the court's like, okay, so let's get in with the evidence. We can discuss this. Lally, well, I believe it's already in one of the exhibit books as far as the copies that I got from the Canton PD, and I provided to counsel, but I don't know where that came from, the court. Okay, so it's not in evidence, it's marked for ID. Lally, thank you. Okay. Okay, so Yannetti's doing cross still, and there's another sidebar asked, and Yannetti, so there's an objection. Bev sustains the objection, and then Yannetti's like, we approach, and so Yannetti starts it with, I guess I'll hear what the objection is first, and the court says, go ahead with your objection. And Lally's basis of the objection is, I don't see how any of this is relevant, number one. Number two, as far as it was already testified as to what it is, I don't understand why these need to be put in. When Adam Lally talks, sometimes I don't understand where he is like coming from. Like, if it was already testified to as what it was, then why are you objecting to it? Like, the foundation's already been laid. Whatever. Okay.
Sounds like he's objecting before or without actually knowing what he's objecting to. When he objects, he just yells objection.
Right. Just because he just likes to say the word objection repeatedly over and over and over again. So Yannetti then says, oh, so this is going to be helpful to the jury. What I'd like to do, and Your Honor, with regards to the police reports, Your Honor, is 100% correct. Typically, you don't admit somebody else's police report with the narrative and all of the hearsay that it contains. That's not what I'm looking to do here. And in fact, if the court only wanted to admit the top half of both of these fat forms, I would be fine. The court also, the no crime involved, there is a lot of hearsay. So what you want is the pictures, Mr. Yannetti, right? That they're all separate pictures. That's interesting. That's why he's objecting, because on the reports it says no crime involved. Funny. Yannetti. I think it's far more powerful if the jury sees that the information is identical, and in fact, we can redact the no crime involved. I don't need that. The other stuff is just, I'm not offering it for the truth of the matter asserted, which is what makes it not hearsay. I'm offering it to show that it matches, and what I think it doesn't match. That's why it's relevant. Court. But he said he didn't know why this had 10. Mr. Unity, no, he actually said he did. That's the print date. The court. Well, you said the print date, and he said, I guess. All right. Printed by whom? The police station or you guys? Yannetti. No, not us. This is a police document. The court. So you just want these photos and just show that they're different? Yannetti. Sorry, Yannetti. Yes, but I want to show that they are part of the police report. They are part of an identical police report. I mean, the fact that it is, official. The court. All right, so I will let it in, but I'm not going to allow you to publish anything on the screen, because if this is indecipherable, Yannetti, well, we have ways of magnifying it. Like, does Bev, when she wakes up in the morning, for this trial, does she sit there and go, what? Technology is hard. I don't understand. I don't understand technology.
This computer doesn't have a
what? Sometimes she just is so. Thank you, Maria, for the donut. I just don't understand. Well, we have ways of magnifying it. Of course. And she's like, exactly. You can see. The court. But maybe that's for a later time. I will let you put in the top part after these are no crime involved, because that would be hearsay. How is no crime involved?
hearsay.
Well, I mean, I guess it's being introduced for the truth of the matter asserted. So technically it's hearsay, but I would argue that it's a hearsay exception, but
guess what? She was found not guilty anyways.
Because there was no crime involved.
Because there, in fact, was no crime involved with her vehicle.
Oh my God.
Actually, there was a crime. It was used to falsify evidence.
Right, these are
of a crime.
I can't, hold on.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I forget how bad Lally was, and we go through these.
You know what's funny to me is that I don't think that Lally necessarily did a bad job. I don't. I think that Alan Jackson, and, well, not Jackson in this case, but Yannetti is just so much better that it looks bad.
Well, yeah, because think about being a jury member, and you're listening to somebody who can form an eloquent sentence and, tell a story with their questions, and then you've got Lally, what, anything on or about the day of January 29th? Can you, if anything, conclude?
So here's a fun thing that most people don't know. There's a way that prosecutors are taught to ask questions. They go to trainings once a year, especially when you first start out. They do these New York State prosecutor trainings. In every state they do it. And they send their baby prosecutors every year for 5-6 years. And they go and they sit in rooms, and they are literally hounded on how to ask questions. And it's, what if anything happened next? What if anything did you recall? What if anything happened on this date? And it is pounded into them that that is the way that they have to ask questions. And it's monotonous and it's rote and it is boring for a jury, because they, and I'm going to demonstrate for you. Okay. So they will be sitting up at the, I know you can't like see me very well because there's a glare, but they'll sit at the podium and they'll be like, officer, good morning. What is your name? And they'll say, Officer Tom and Jerry. And then they check, they will literally take their pen and they put a check mark next to the question. And how long have you been a member of the Suffolk County Police Department? 10 years. Check. And what, if any, training have you received as a member of the Suffolk County Police Department? I've been a trained officer for the last 20 years, doing specialized domestic violence training, specifically having to relate with sex crimes. Check. And the jury will watch them ask these questions and do the check marks after every question that they ask, because that's how they're taught in their trainings to do it. But and that's what, if you look at the way Yannetti's asking questions, that's how he's doing it, because he's never unlearned how to do the baby prosecutor training.
Okay, so I know we're making fun of this, but I am a firm believer they do not train you enough in grad school to be a therapist, and they should train you how to ask questions like that for like when someone is suicidal. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Like how to question them so you are not triggering them.
Right.
They don't teach you how to ask, or you get a general idea of like what's ethical, what's not, and then the rest is just like good luck.
Good luck, Godspeed. I'm not saying
What do you
it's
mean?
not effective. It's 100% effective. There's more convictions than there are not guilties. It is obviously a very effective technique because they're trained how to bring out the elements of the crimes and get the information out. But it does get boring and it does get monotonous. So when Lally is doing his thing, because he was trained on how to do that. Now, when you see a defense attorney do it, it's different because they weren't sent to those trainings.
And you're kind of trying to trip up people up on their own words
And
as a defense.
And you didn't prep the witness for cross-examination. You didn't sit there and go, okay, I'm going to do cross-examination with you if this is how you're answering the questions, right? So you don't know what their response is going to be, so you have to be good on your feet. But you could always tell a defense attorney who was a prosecutor, because they will sit there with their book and their pen and they will do the check mark. It never fails. You will absolutely know that that defense attorney was a former prosecutor because of how they ask their questions and how they do the check marks with the books. The check marks. It's never fails. Never fails. But
don't get me wrong, like as a therapist, I'm sure it would be like we as people, if we went into a therapist office and every time got asked the exact same question in the exact same way, like the therapy loses its appeal. I understand like why they don't. Kind of like, dang, more people should be told exactly how to do their jobs so that they don't fuck up their job. Like,
no, it's definitely helpful because you have a script then, right? So like, let's say there's like a misdemeanor DWI trial. All the ADAs just have to do is go grab the script that they have used 150 times about field sobriety tests, the intoxilizer, the PBTs. They just pull the script. They have the entire questions for the police officers. They don't have to do any real like sit down and prep because they have the script already. It's pretty easy. That doesn't, when you reverse it, then it gets a little bit more difficult. But no one's really surprising anybody. But with therapy, or like you have no idea what the answers to the questions are going to be. So you have to zig when you need to zag and zag when you need to zig. Like, it's harder. It's harder. But interesting. Interesting. Everybody understand everything we just talked about? Everybody get that? So, like, if you are listening to his questions, like, why they sound the same way that they sound. No, maybe so. Okay.
And then you think about the amount of time that Alan Jackson and Karen Reed put into prepping for trial.
Yes. Okay. Mm-mm.
And yes, I know therapy is different because it's not black and white, but I'm saying the equivalent of education is the same, and the intensity of the job is relatively similar.
Say it louder.
Like, so.
Okay. So Yannetti finishes this up by saying, let me ask you this. Can we black out the no crime involved now with a magic marker? I like that he said magic marker. And can I just show that what the has in your hand right there on a split screen court? No, because I haven't seen the altered version of this. What do you mean you haven't seen the altered version of this, Bev? He just told you what he wanted you to alter it. He wants to take a magic marker and cross out. Oh my God. Okay. And again, the jury gets the evidence right here. The jury doesn't get, I don't know, have you seen what this is? Ali says, yes. And Unity says, I believe you may have it on your desk right now, Judge, but I gave you the exhibit. Lally, I don't know. I thought I saw it. The court, do you have the actual exhibit? Jurors, feel free to stand up and stretch. While Miss Little is getting that, we need to still talk about Sergeant Lank and what exactly you intend to put in so that I can rule on exactly what I think.
I think that's just dumb.
Okay.
Like, I really think she's just like, how many more minutes until happy hour?
She's wild. Okay. Unnity's like, sure, no problem, Bev. Court, what you would be allowed to put in? Lally, sure. The court, thank you, Miss Little. Okay, is this in evidence? I hate to say this without any reference to it. Mr. Lally, not that. The court, you intend to put into evidence. Mr. Lally, yes. The court. So with that, if you intend to put this still into evidence, Mr. Unity, if you could, and is this firm in evidence, or Mr. Lally, it is. The court. Is this a different one? All right. So if you put that in first and then put these in, then I'll let you put it on the screen. Thank you for the follow, Devin. We have one new follower so far. Yay! Welcome to the team. I like to say that.
Commercial break.
Break.
We should do maybe not a vision board, but maybe a vision board, like a goal setting for 2026 live.
Ooh, we could do that. We could.
And like everybody can craft along at home if you want to, like, I don't know that I'm going to go through like the whole thing of getting magazines and cutting it out and gluing it, but
I might. That might be fun. I love a good craft.
I might make one on the computer.
Okay. Mr. Lally, again, I think it comes into a bit of a dangerous territory in the sense that if counsel is going to try to suggest there is some sort of difference between the reports, then I think we almost enter into a realm of the entire report coming in. I think he said he's going to suggest that the reports are identical. The only change is this. Yannetti, correct. The court. So let's make that clear, okay? Yannetti, okay. All right. So the report is put on the screen. That has to be whited out, and only this part can be shown. Yannetti, thank you. The court. But you have to put that in first. Yannetti, okay. Your objection is noted, Mr. Lally. Miss Little, will you give that? Yannetti. Mr. Lally, I'm sorry. Just to make sure there's no mistakes, it's been suggested to me, and I think it's probably a good idea to cut the court. Okay. Yannetti, there is nothing else that's shown for sure when it's put on the screen. The court. How are you putting it on the screen? We already had it. Mr. Jackson, I was going to suggest that Mr. Bates has the entire report. Because it's electronic, I don't want to take any chance of it accidentally being put up. If we just cut it, we can use it. Use the Elmo. We've got an Elmo. Does everybody know what an Elmo is?
I read that message and without realizing it was sarcastic, I was like, wait, what?
It was
And then
being sarcastic.
I realized sarcasm.
Okay. So do you guys remember what remember those old projectors we all had in grade school with the light that like put the thing on the screen? That's basically what an Elmo was, except it does it digitally. It transfers it up through like a computer system. It's basically the same thing, but it does it like digitally rather than like the old school way with the light and the refractor. That's
Like a smart board?
yeah. Well, it transfers it to like a television, not to like a smart board, but like it like looks at the photo and then transports it up to a TV.
Fancy.
And what's crazy is that it's like, at least in our courthouse, the DAs have the Elmo. So whenever we need to put something up on the screen, we have to like walk over to the DA's table and use the Elmo. And I'm like, oh, this doesn't look terrible at all. We should have our own Elmo. But hey, whatever. Okay.
It's not our fault. They cut PBS funding and now there's not enough Elmo to go around.
There is not another. Wait. Did I miss this? Oh no, I didn't. Okay. Uh this is off record. This part is not a bar, but this is funny because he's like, I guess we didn't have scissors, so we fold it because it would fold it. All I was going to show the jury is that part. Do we have scissors, Mr. That's not a sidebar. That's just like on the record, but that was really funny.
Unity's got some liners.
Hello, everybody. Okay, another sidebar. Court finished her first puzzle.
I actually got like the bottom chunk of it done yesterday and I gave up because it was boring. So I started my Harry Potter one this morning.
Oh, you didn't like it?
It was just a lot of colors. Like there wasn't texture to the puzzle pieces, so I got bored looking at them really, really fast.
Thank you for the follow, and we have 2 new followers from the live. Yay! Welcome in. Welcome to the team. Hold on, where's the sound effects? Where's the sound effects?
So I've learned that I like puzzles, but if I'm not adequately stimulated, then I lose interest really quick.
Whenever I get a new follower, I'm going to do this.
People are going to be so confused.
They're going to be like, what is that? I'll be like, new follower sound. Duh. It's going to be really weird when I upload this like to YouTube later. And it's going to be like a random cheer sound. Oh, we have another one. Cindy. There you go. See? And if I miss somebody, you guys better tell me so that we can play the music. Ooh, a 1,000 piece puzzle. My mom likes puzzles too.
That's how.
Yeah, Courtney's face just then was just like, what the fuck? She just looked at me like, you're an insane person.
You are an insane person. 1,000 pieces is the Harry Potter one that I got. And it's the same with my cat one, but the cat one is just bigger blocks of color. I like the Harry Potter one because it's like Is this water or is this sky? I can't tell what the texture is, but let's find out.
Let me check.
I'm clearly a child and need to be entertained as such, so. So we'll finish the Harry Potter one this time. Now that I've had some practice.
Yo, people are fucking wild in these streets. No, Char, we're just going over Karen Reed sidebars, sort of just like giggling at how weird Yannetti is. Ooh, thank you for the heart me. I got 2 heart me's, thank you. All right. Okay. Another sidebar. We're on like 7 of 107. Lally, I think that Lally did somewhat of a decent job. I don't think he did terrible. The problem is it's a terribly not strong case. But I don't think so. Okay, here's my. I don't think that Lally. No, Lally. Yannetti, I love. Yannetti, I love. I don't think that Lally knew how terrible this case was going to fall apart until he was in the thick of it. I really don't. And I don't think that, because a lot of the stuff that came out during the trial was from the defense and cross-examination, right? So I don't necessarily know if he was like, if he knew some of the stuff. Like, I don't know if he knew per se about, that was crazy. Like about the severity of the Proctor texts or anything like that. He probably did, but I'm willing to give him a little bit of a benefit of the doubt that he did investigate his case as well as he probably should have. And even if he did, the directive was from Morrissey was to prosecute this to the fullest extent of the law. And at that point, your hands are tied when your boss is saying, I don't really care, you got to do what you got to do. I'm telling you to do it this way, you have to do it this way. I'm sorry, if I said Yannetti, I meant Lally.
Now, Hank Brennan, on the other hand, he knew what happened the first time. He knew what the evidence was, and he still took it.
Yeah, that's the
and
difference.
Still thought he was going to win.
That's the difference. And I mean, he did it to the tune of what, $500,000. So at the end of the day, we're talking. It's just.
And was responsible for the whole debacle with the Blue Man Group.
Yeah. Yannetti's a good-looking man, but the whole team was. The whole team was. I did not mind watching them in court. I liked their intellect was just 10 out of 10. I mean, watching them do the trial was just, ooh, little quirky, thank you. Was just unreal. It was just unreal. I learned, like, everybody learned stuff. Everybody learned stuff from them. It was just, but I will give Lally a little bit of grace during round 1 because I don't think that he knew everything that came out during the trial. Like, I don't think he knew about the Caitlin Albert and Katie McLaughlin connection. I don't think he knew that. I don't think that, like, I think a lot of things he found out with as the rest of the world found out. I don't know. So I'm willing to give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. Reciprocal discovery, obviously, but in reciprocal discovery, if you're using it in regular, thank you for the heart, Denise. If you're using it like in regular cross-examination, you have to turn it over. If you're using it for impeachment purposes, you do not. So, like the Caitlin Albert stuff, that was impeachment. So if he didn't know before, he found out with the rest of us. So, and like you can see, that's why they changed the course of the trial so much in trial 2, and all those people didn't testify because they now knew stuff they didn't know in trial one because they didn't watch their case. They didn't investigate their case. They thought this was a slam dunk.
Believed this stupid police department.
It sucks, but it is. But that's just at the end of the day, that's just what it was. So I'll give him a little bit. Now, him second seeding Hank Brennan round 2.
Brought that on him.
He didn't really do much round 2 though. Did he even cross any? Yeah, he did. He did. He directed and crossed some people, I think.
But like, wouldn't you be embarrassed at that point? Like, you botched it the first time and then they didn't even want you to lead the second time? I would have been like, see ya, I'm moving to the next state over.
The problem is though, is if Morrissey tells you to do it, you got to do it.
Not if I'm a fugitive. Being a fugitive is always the answer.
Like, yeah, like if Morrissey's like, hey, you have to do this, you have to do this.
See, I have a problem with authority because if Morrissey told me to do something I didn't want to do, I'd tell Morrissey where he could shove that. And I would not have a job for very long. Yeah, I don't think Lally did the prep. I think Lally just kind of presented the case as he thought it would be laid out very plain and simply.
It definitely was a different vibe round 2. And I think the sidebars that we're going over now are going to be vastly different than the sidebars that we see in trial 2. Sidebars, we finally get the sidebars for trial 2, they're going to be nasty. Like, I'm sorry, I've been watching way too much Alabama because did anybody watch Alabama Barker's Christmas haul?
No, I didn't. I've heard about it though. I've seen videos about it.
So every time I say nasty, I'm like nasty with the Poochie dress. That's all I keep saying. Nobody is getting nobody's getting my reference, and I feel old, but it's fine.
That makes we're the old ones, hip one that's with the times. We're the ones that the boomers.
What disturbed me the most is no one knew what Poochie was, and I was like, how do you not know what Poochie is?
Poochie?
Like Poochie, Pucci. It's a designer. And Poochie had a moment in the mid 2000s where like they got really, really hyped and really they do these really bold patterns and colors and stuff. They're very like summery. Everybody wanted a Poochie bikini in like 2004. Everybody wanted a Poochie bikini. You had to have a Poochie bikini. I didn't have a Poochie bikini, but everybody wanted a Poochie bikini. They were too expensive. I did not get one. I was very upset. I asked for one for Christmas. I did not get one. But that was like, let me see if I can find a picture.
That must have been like, I'm poor, because that was above my level of like knowing designer.
I know. My grandmother has some. I get a let me find a good like representation of what he was like.
Like I was in my mid 30s when I found out David Yurman was. Like designer has not been my thing, so this Poochie person is new.
Amelia Poochie, baby. Chef's kiss. This is I think the exact bikini that I wanted. Oh, it's because I'm scrolling. Sorry. All right, hold on. How do I change the background of my...
You know what's really crazy? I had there's a limit to a certain type of gardening utensil that you can get. And when I'm in vape format, you can only get those units. So I got a one offer and it's already gone.
Oh wait, can I do...
And that was a really roundabout way to say what I needed to say. TikTok is lame.
I get it. Effects. I need a green screen. I'm still learning how to use this stupid studio. I just need green screen. Where is green screen? Maybe it's in enhance. No.
It's under the little pencil.
Everything's a little different on
The computer.
yeah. I don't know if I can green screen on here. I don't think I can. Ah, oh, damn it. I really wanted to show you what it looked like.
Yes, you can. How else were you showing us the documents?
That's when I'm solo.
Didn't it show them first?
Mm-mm.
Show us on your phone.
What did I just do? Oh my god, what did I just do? Okay, let me see if I can find it on my phone. All right, let me look it up on my phone and raise the light on my phone so you can see. I don't know. I was obsessed with Fuji when I was like in the early 2000s, mid 2000s. That shit was my obsession. I was like, you can't wear that bikini, it's too skimpy. And to be fair, like, slay, because I did not have the for it. I absolutely did not have the body for it, and I would have looked a fool walking around on a beach.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it's just being in the Midwest. We don't have those things here. We don't have access to the finer things like we do in the bigger cities.
I'm trying to find like a good visual representation. Oh, this works. Oh, no, it doesn't. What? Oh, thank you. Oh, that's from DHgate. I'm not going to show you a DHgate knockoff.
Hi, Lori.
Okay, so Poochie looks like this, kind of. I don't know if you can really... Like, it's like the abstract patterns with, like, the wild colors and stuff.
Cute.
And then, like, they always come with, like, the skirts and, like, the shorts and then the scarves that you... Everything matches. The patterns all match. So, like, you'd have the hair scarf and then you'd have the little thing that you would tie on the side to wear with it. It was, you know what? What's her name? Misha Barton wore Gucci during the OC days. So that's what.
Hey, congrats. That's an accomplishment. Your first LV bag. That's an investment. I bought my first Gucci, but it was secondhand.
Listen, they're an investment. It is all an investment. The scarf dress combo. You know who has one? Oh my god, I follow her on TikTok. She just bought a Poochie dress and I was obsessed with it. Audrey. Okay. Ooh! Ooh, here we got one more. She's yelling at Yannetti.
Oh boy.
All right. Whereupon there was a sidebar conference as follows, since we talked about Poochie for like 15 minutes. So we still need to deal with this. I assumed you'd want to know before you did your direct. Adam Lally. Yes. The court. You were saying before you had the other officer available yesterday to go. Can you call him or do I have to give this jury another break? And Mr. Yannetti. Yes, Your Honor. The court, I expect better from you than that. Yannetti, I think that it's admissible, Your Honor. The court, I know you might, but it's not. I know you might, but it's not. What? Yannetti, the court, essentially we haven't had this conversation yet today about what I was admitting regarding that incident, so I'm just telling you that. I expected better from you. Are you my mother? Are you my mother? Who is saying that to somebody? I expect better from you? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Absolutely no. That is.
I would have pulled a likewise judge. I couldn't be a lawyer. I'd get in trouble.
I don't. Hey, Sharon, how are you? I. Mm-mm. Nope. Nope. Absolutely not. Okay. Just trying to find the next. All right. That is not an important one. That's not an important one. Ooh, thank you. Rising star. That's not important.
I keep getting Lululemon notifications. Come shop, come shop. Leave me alone. I'm trying to save money.
This is a good one. The court. So I didn't want to interrupt you and embarrass you. You don't put anything up on that screen without my permission. You did it 5 times. Let's go to tab 1. Let's go to tab 2. Mr. Jackson, I thought if it was in evidence, we were free to. The court, you don't just freely walk about the courtroom and put up displays. Mr. Jackson, where would you like me? Mr. Yannetti told you that. Mr. Jackson, how would you like me to? What is the proper protocol to ask? The court, you need to ask me for permission to put something up on the screen. Yes. Jackson, okay. The court, Mr. Yannetti, you have a role with Pro Hoc Vice to let them know. Yannetti, I understand. The court, all right, the jury needs a break. Jackson, I've got about, just so the court knows. Jurors, go ahead and let's take a 10-minute break, okay? Miss Little, the same question by a different witness in the same position yesterday. Mr. Jackson, just so the court knows, I have maybe 10 minutes left longer. The court, yours will be very short? Allie, yes. The court, all right, I'd really like to not bring him back tomorrow. Lally, no. The court, we will start with another witness. Lally, I think we can probably get through with Lieutenant Ray. Yannetti, I was going to suggest, Your Honor, I would really like the court to rule on the photos I brought up at the start of the day yesterday, because I think there is a chance Caitlin Albert could be called tomorrow. Lally, I doubt it. You doubt it? The court reporter, I can't hear. Yannetti, I had just said that I was hoping for a ruling on the photos that I had brought up at the day yesterday. I do have further oral argument to make outside the presence of the jury. The court, why don't you make it right now? Yannetti, can I get my note? The court, are pages and pages, or is this, yo,
Her rushing them constantly is getting so fucking old already.
I have never in my entire life practiced in a single courtroom. Oh yes, still try one. Where when I've had to flip from tab 1 to tab 2 of a document already in evidence, where I'm going from one page to the next, been like, Your Honor, may I flip the page, please? Oh yay, we have another. Oh, we have to do the cheers. Yay, AR, welcome. No. Mm-mm. Is anybody else finding this as appalling as I am? Like, because this is.
Massachusetts, Marin.
I'm trying to control my anger. So Bev says, are there pages and pages, or is this Yannetti? There's 3 pages, Judge. The court, Miss Yannetti, I don't need to hear 3 pages of arguments.
Sounds like you've ruled on it then, Bev.
If the man has 3 pages of legal arguments, okay? This is appealable, by the way. I want to point this out. Her limiting his oral arguments on a legal issue is appealable. Because if he doesn't get to put on the record his case sites, his legal arguments, he doesn't get to preserve an issue for appeal. So the fact that she's precluding him from preserving an issue for appeal is an issue for appeal. If that makes sense. It's a little roundabout, but
Warning! Next time. Oh, it's not looking at you.
I like the little sound effects. I can get one of those little like things that I can like program for the keys. So I just hit the buttons and the keys will go off. I'm appalled.
It scared me. I would like looked down. It was terrifying.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. I didn't mean to scare everybody. When Bev does something that is utterly inappropriate, you're going to hear the scream sound. I'm just warning you now. I'm not doing it right now. But still. This is absolutely insane. And I'm like, nah, oh God. Okay, back to. So, the court says, Mr. Yannetti, I don't need to hear 3 pages of arguments. Yannetti, here's the thing, all right? Let me just try to encapsulate it. I thought that it would be appropriate to discuss what orders have been in place regarding reciprocal discovery. Oh, excellent. What I was talking about before, what is reciprocal discovery versus what is impeachment evidence. The court is free to make any orders it wants at any time, and I recognize that. But I wanted to explain the reason why we didn't reveal the photos that were previously marked H, I, J, and K. And it was our view that there was no specific reciprocal discovery order required the provision to the Commonwealth of material that we deem to be impeachment evidence, which is what I said earlier. It would happen within this court's preview to order it. And, as I said, the court can order it now if it has not been ordered to this date. And I recognize that. But that was the reason for that. So with regards to those 4 photos, I understand the court's ruling that they were inadmissible to use against Miss McLaughlin. My position, our position, is that we are in a much different position with regard to Caitlin Albert. Only with regard to those 4 photos, because now the Commonwealth is not surprised. They have had time to prepare here, and that conversation would be a part of our examination anyway. But also with regard particularly to the new photos that we just received over the weekend. There has been no discovery violation, so they're talking about Rule 14. With regard to that, I have a list on my desk of all of the discovery that the Commonwealth has proved to us that continues to come in on a daily basis since this trial started. So clearly this is not something that we held back. It's new, it's relevant. And the court had stated yesterday that it may be cumulative. I would take issue with that because there has been no photo introduced of their relationship, and there has been an attempt by Miss McLaughlin to minimize that relationship. These photos not only prove that she was minimizing it, but, in my view, proof that she was lying on the stand about the nature of the relationship. She had said specifically 2 things. Number 1, that she hadn't had any contact with Caitlin Albert in the last 2 or 3 years. Come to find out, we have a photo from 8 months prior to January 2022, where there is a limited number of people in a photograph, and Caitlin Albert and Katie McLaughlin had their arms around each other at a baby shower. In addition, what was the statement, Mr. Unity? Oh yeah. She had also said that they only take day trips together to the beach in a group. We have a photo of them in Maine, 4 hours away, drinking in a hot tub, which clearly is not just a 1-day trip. And then we have photos together where she is with Caitlin Albert's 2 college roommates. So there is Caitlin Albert and her 2 roommates and Katie McLaughlin. Started off her testimony by saying, I went to school with somebody by that name. That's like saying, I know somebody who raised me who happens to be a woman and is married to my father. I mean, she misrepresented the relationship. This is central cross-examination material, and these exhibits are relevant. There has been no discovery violation, and I seek to use them during their cross with Caitlin Albert. Fantastic argument. Fantastic argument. Love that. Love that for him. Now let's see what Lally has to say. Bev, and you say? Lally, Your Honor, what I would say is there absolutely has been a discovery violation. Oh my God, I am shocked. Adding things to discovery violation. The Commonwealth motion for reciprocal discovery, which the court, I don't know if it was acted on as far as the order, but it specifically stated that to counsel to provide those. The subsequent do absolutely need to further any point as far as firefighter McLaughlin. And I remind counsel that it is a firefighter, and that's how she's involved in this case and comes to the scene in the first place. Frankly, the cross-examination, I'm going to leave that because I don't want to say something that I may regret. What? I'm sorry, Lally, what are you going to regret? What are you trying to say here, sir? But with regard to most of this is cumulative. None of this is cumulative because it was not discussed. It was not approached. She wasn't allowed to be questioned about it. Put it down. It's not cumulative. The other sort of photographs that are in here, they went to high school at the same time, which firefighter McLaughlin acknowledged. They were on the same track team. So are about 4 people. Were the other 40 people in a hot tub together in Maine? I don't think so. Every other photograph that's contained in here is in a group setting, which is what firefighter McLaughlin acknowledged. That's not what she said. There's absolutely no evidence whatsoever of any prevarication, any lying thing mentioned in any front of this court and flat out accused firefighter McLaughlin of doing. There is no evidence of that in these photographs. The other photographs or anything in testimony, and frankly, it's repulsive. Oh, he's using big words now. Bev, all right, I'm going to strike the repulsive part. And this is still Bev. All right. So I did find that there was a violation of Rule 14. I know that counsel said that I didn't intend to use it, but I disagree, and I you did. So I'll mark all of these for ID. There are 7 of them. And I made an independent finding that they are cumulative and that Mr. Jackson got the answers that he was looking for and that the photos are not inconsistent. So for all of those reasons, the photos from the other day are out and these are out. Specifically with regard to these, the court. Hold on. Do you want them as one or the court? I think one is easier. Yannetti, with regard to the court, hold on. Yannetti, I'm sorry. All right. Question, just so I understand the court's ruling. With regard to these additional photos that were received over the weekend, is it the court's ruling that they are excluded in part because they too are a discovery violation? The court. I don't know where they came from or who authenticates them. Did you please, Commonwealth? Lally. I mean, when the court did, Yannetti, I represent it. We received these over the weekend. And in fact, we got the court unknown sources. Yannetti, right. The court. And some are marked. Tori, can I have that, please? Thank you. So I don't hear anything now that would make these admissible. You need to question the witness first. I don't have your discovery in front of me, Lally. Did it include impeachment material? Yannetti, I can speak to that because I reviewed it. If that motion was allowed, then my reading of the motion is that these, not these, but the previous 4 photographs, should have been turned over. But I also, the court. Okay, the court. Okay, the motion was allowed because I remember saying I know you had to wait until a certificate of compliance. Yannetti, right, the court. And I said that the common motion allowed is understanding and you had to get it immediately. I think I said 2 days. I didn't know that even Miss Little complied much sooner than that. Yannetti, right. And I really would rather handle it in his testimony. Do you need more time on this hearing from all 3? Actually, just the 2 of you? Yannetti, well, I was just going to explain, Your Honor, that I checked the document. The motion was not endorsed, but I don't question what the court just said. The court, okay, I remember specifically. Yannetti, okay. The court, the 2-day part, that's fine. The court, why don't we just continue? If you come up with another argument before the witness testifies, you can tell me about it. Yannetti, okay, fine, thank you. The court, I don't want to waste any more time. Yannetti, I understand the court, so we won't get a break. We'll just bring the jury in, okay? Yannetti, fine. And then they start back up. Okay, let's chat about this. So that was a lot of law language. Essentially, she's saying that it's cumulative, meaning that they've already discussed it. There's no need to rehash it. And 2, it's a discovery violation, which is not because, well, they are conceding, Yannetti is conceding that the original 4 photos may have been a discovery violation. But the new photos that they just received can't be a discovery violation because they just received them. And the Commonwealth is still turning over, during the course of the trial, newly received information. So if the Commonwealth is still getting to turn over new documents, why that they're allowed to use during the trial, why can't they also turn over new documents that they can use during the trial? So
right, rulings always favor the prosecution over the defense.
Right, so the Commonwealth gets to do it, the defense team does it, essentially is what their argument is, in a nutshell. Now, I tend to agree. It's not them being polite.
It's because they know Bev's not going to budge.
It's picking and choosing your battles. When you are in a situation with a judge like this, you have to be very careful of what you say and what you do. Because at this point, she's ready to toss Jackson out of the courtroom. All right, based on the previous sidebars, we can tell she already wants to toss Jackson out of the courtroom. Okay? She hates Jackson.
So she don't embarrass you.
She can't hate both of the defense attorneys. Well, there's 3 because Liza Little's there. She can't hate all of them. They need one that she likes, at least a little bit. Because if she hates all of them, then Karen's not getting anything.
And she did not like any of them except for maybe sometimes Yannetti.
Yes, I believe Yannetti appeared before Bev before. Because Yannetti is from Massachusetts. What is important to know is that during a trial, it's a very eloquent waltz. And every move has to be calculated. So when Yannetti is making his arguments, he's being polite. He's not calling the other counsel repulsive like Lally is. He's doing it strategically to make sure that at the end of the day, he's protecting his client while still making an accurate, fair record, because it's necessary. It's necessary for him to make sure that for appellate purposes, he has everything on the record, and he also gets his side out. There's a lot of moving parts when you're doing this live and in person. And he's doing it well, given the asshattery that is taking place. That was a
like, I'm nervous for my first session, like with a client, but like I'm in a closed room with just one other person. I cannot imagine being a lawyer on your first date, being in front of a whole other opposing counsel, the judge, all of whom know how you're supposed to be doing your job. The jury, the audience, the defendants, the plaintiffs, all of them. And they're just staring at you, listening to you. Like, that is my actual worst.
not
You would have to sedate.
I mean, I love it. I think it's fun, but I like to talk, so it doesn't really affect me much.
I like to talk, but I don't like to be wrong. So therefore, if a judge was telling me that I was wrong, I would not be okay with it.
I also don't like to be wrong. That's the stressful part.
I can do it.
That's the stressful part. All right, guys, I'm going to call that a night because I have a busy day tomorrow. I hope you learned something this evening. If you are not following us, make sure that you are. This live will be uploaded to the tube within the next 15 minutes. So if you've missed any of it, you can catch it live there. So if you want to watch it, that's where it will be. And then we'll be on later tonight because I have an appointment right after work at 6. So we'll be on around 6:45 tomorrow. All right? But if you want to watch or miss any part of this live, check it out on the tube, which is linked in the link tree. All right? Everybody good? I love you all. Thank you for being here. And I hope to see you guys tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Bye.